Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Abbey here in Portsmouth, Rhode Island, where the Salve Regina University Seahawks are set to take on the Bison of Nichols College in a Commonwealth Coast Conference men's ice hockey quarterfinal matchup. Hello again and welcome. I am Andrew Pizzelli, bringing you the call here tonight. The Seahawks 14-10-1 on the season. Nichols 11-12-2, but don't let their sub-500 record fool you. They went on a 10-0-2 streak here in the new year, the longest unbeaten streak in program history. They have been playing playoff hockey for a while, and they'll be ready to go here tonight against a familiar foe. The Seahawks and Bison have met many times in the postseason in recent memory, in some championship games, in some NCAA tournament games. We'll get into all that as we go. And we're underway here, and the 2020 postseason is underway right away from the blue line. A shot from the right side skips in front, and Brett Epp will cover it up for the Bison. Attacking zone draw for Salve. It's played into the left wing corner. And out through center now. Scaled up the left side. And into the corner, Vincenzo Renda, just named an all-conference defenseman. Second team honors for him. The junior making his third all-conference team. Centering pass right through the slot. Seahawks turning to Tony Rem once again in net. He's been the hot hand here down the stretch for Salve. Seahawks forced to chase this one in deep. Matt Dillon will wait in behind the net. Renda and Aruzioni, the only all-conference odds. This one played in front. Backhand shot off the pipe and wide. Crivello, that time dancing free in front. Centering pass deflected into the high slot. We have a whistle. I think the net off its moorings. Does not seem like we have a penalty coming. Yeah, it's just readjusting the net. To go back to the goaltenders real quick, Epp making his 11th start. He's 2-6-2 on the year. Rem making his 11th start as well. He's 6-2-1. Renda plays it around the boards. The left side, Shavria trying to keep it in the zone. Deflects to Spencer Stanley. Out through center, Sennett has it knocked away, and the Bison quickly send it right back into the zone. Renda moves it around. Dillon up the near side boards. Frankie Sullivan scoops it out to Eric Lippa. He'll gallop over the line right side. Lirip backhands it on the net. Still loose after the save by Epp. Puck moved behind the cage now. That one took a crazy hop. JB Baker near side will skate out with it for the Bison and flip it ahead into the left wing corner. Now in behind the cage. These teams last met in the 2018 season NCAA quarterfinal match over at URI. The Bison that year upset the Seahawks here at the Abbey in the CCC tournament en route to a conference championship. Kind of a bittersweet moment, though. Here comes the penalty. I think that's Carabia. Actually, yes, it is Carabia knocking down the man in the corner. Heavy hit on Frank Zach. And this is something the Seahawks could not afford to do, was commit penalties early on. Second most penalties per game, penalty minutes per game in the nation. And that puts the Bison on the power play. 19% on the power play are the Bison, 78% are the Seahawks on the kill. And I said it was a hollow championship, not necessarily hollow, but bittersweet for the Bison because they won the conference championship but then lost to the Seahawks in a bid to go to the Frozen Four. John McLean finds the puck now and sweeps it down the ice. But some storied matchups between these two clubs. Quickly up the left-hand side, carried into the corner by Philippe Virgili. He shuffles it up top to the point. Baker walking right side. Snaps it on the goal, and Rem hangs on. This is the fifth meeting in the postseason in the last 6 seasons for Salve and Nichols. Nichols claimed the 2015 ECAC Northeast Championship by a 3-0 final. The Seahawks returned the favor the following year in the semifinals en route to their conference crown. And I just talked about how the teams traded wins in the postseason in 2018. Seahawks eventually making the national championship game. Virgili left side, paddles it down low. Centered back to Virgili off the crossbar. Perron spins it in the corner up to the point, and Baker wasn't there. So he will chase it back to his own zone. Baker through center. That one deflected. Eruzione nearly could have had a steal there. Eruzione also named to the all-conference team, named a third-team forward. And a big game last game for Danny Eruzione. He got his 70th career assist. He's now the Seahawks' all-time leader in career assists. He also got his 100th point, ranking second all-time in career scoring for Salve Regina, and is just 6 points away from becoming the Seahawks' all-time leading scorer. That being Danny Eruzione. Puck up the near side. Carried by Peter Miko into the corner. Herka wedges him to the boards. Bison work it out. Along the wall, Nate Foster hands back off. Miko, right wing circle, trying to throw it in front, and a pad save made by Reen. Carlson down low, centers it across, and Miko couldn't settle it, but it deflects in anyways. Bison strike first on the power play. Miko stand on the initial chance. You'll see here he'll get the pass from down low. Trying to go back door. He whiffs on it. And that one may have just gone in off a Seahawks skate. 1-0 Nichols. With 16:37 to go in the first period. Solid start here for the Bison. This one given away to Eric Udall over the blue line. He'll try to rip it on the cage. That's blocked. Puck on the far side boards up top of the point. Rendo waiting. Snaps it on the net. Looking for a tip. Udall was shielding in front, but the puck couldn't get through. Hopped out to center now. And breaking over the line is Perron left side. Centers it for Baker. His wrist shot high and wide. Tripped into the corner. And Renda paddles it up ahead for Danny Philbrick, leading the rush. Philbrick shuffles it ahead, absorbs a hit from Baker. Seahawk bench looking for the late hit. They don't get the call. Carried up the near side through center. Frank Zach over the line right side. Waiting, trying to send it across. Tim Sweeney intercepts. Trying to get it back quickly for Mitch Walensky. He can't touch it. And they say no icing on the deflection. Left wing corner, puck trying to be centered. Seahawks with it in the corner. Up top, Stanley trying to snap it across, able to thread the needle. Carabia's drive is blocked in front. Walensky can't keep it alive. Sweeney, though, up top of the blue line, quickly dumps it back in deep. Connor Layton lets it go by Walensky. All the way up to the point. Spencer Stanley waiting, snaps it on the goal. That one blocked in front by the Bison. And they're able to chop it back out through center and punched in deep now by Connor Leonard. Spencer Stanley levels a hit in the right wing corner. Seahawks looking to clear. Dylan Carabia working backwards. Now we'll carry through center. Carabia strides over the line, sends it on the goal, and it'll be held by Epp. .15:05 to go in the first. Seahawks already behind 1-0. Kraus in the right wing circle will take the draw against Mike Lopez. Kraus had a big game here on Sunday against Western New England. Earned him CCC Rookie of the Week. Here's a shot, played in front, score! Quick shot from the right side, and it's Marino who cleans it up. And just like that, we're tied. Bodies in front. Here's the replay. You see the shot. I think that's Eruzione with the shot. Pad save was made, but Marino cleans it up, and we start again. Point for Danny Eruzione, just 5 points now away from being the program's all-time leading scorer. Here comes Marino over the line left side, sends it across, it deflects into the slot. A big hit laid there. Kraus keeps the puck alive at the point. Scales it on the backhand. It ricochets off of Marino out to the wing. Hand pass ruled here against the Bison. So this draw will stay in the attacking end for Salve. 14:31 to go. Dillon for a wrist shot on that one. Saved by Epp. Mikko chips it off the glass, giving away to Renda. Quickly back out through center. Sullivan out of the reach of Lippa. Now he's going to chase it down in the corner. Lippa backhands it around the boards. Dillon chasing after it with Curtis Carlson. Bounced out through center, navigating the near side. Nate Foster tied up with Frankie Sullivan at the blue line. Renda waiting, snaps it back across to Matt Dillon. Now Renda headmanning it up the right-hand side, scoops it into the zone, rolling towards the net, picked off by Evan Nias. John McLean trying to battle in deep. 1-on-2, chasing it into the corner, able to lift the stick. Bison cleared out to center, but Renda right there. Gives it back to Carangelo. Now Udall walks it over the line. Udall out high with a shot. Save made by Epp. Puck in the corner. Udall trying to sweep it on the goal. Carangelo in deep. Spins back to the outside. Dancing in behind the net. Udall able to get it away. McLean has it hop off his stick. Back comes Baker now for the Bison. Perron over the line left side. Carabia stride for stride with him. Puck rolls into the corner left side. Puck loose in behind the net now. Carabia swats it away. Getting there first is Patrick Colgan. He'll send it wide of the net. Puck in the near side corner. Skated out by Tim Sweeney. Sweeney trying to carry down the middle while the Seahawks are in the midst of a change. His shot is blocked. Into the high slot it comes. Waiting. Walensky. Little backhand on the goal. That one ricochets in behind the net. Skates all the way around to the corner. Hold! Can't keep it in with the skates at the blue line. And the Seahawks will reset. Sweeney knifes it into the right wing corner. He's going to come off for a change. Hogan Davidson gives it off to the left side for a drive, and Ream grabs it with the glove. 12:31 to go in the first. Game tied at 1. Bison won the 2018 Commonwealth Coast Conference Championship as the number 5 seed. They previously captured the ECAC Northeast in 2015 and 2009 and 2014. They had a 10-0-2 streak going. This shot fought off with a blocker by Ream. Rebound collected in the corner by Virgili. Mangone knocks down a Seahawk, but the Seahawks come away with it. Marino, who tied the game on the near side, swings it into the zone. Aruzioni chasing after it, left wing side, throws the shoulder. Kraus hands back to Aruzioni. Centers from Marino. His backhand is blocked. Bison trying to clear, given back to Renda. Wants to touch it forward to Aruzioni. It's caught up in the skates. Scrum on the near side. Kraus trying to kick it free. Renda wedges it away with one hand. Aruzioni now dances over the blue line left side. Aruzioni to the net. Fakes the shot. Looking for the wraparound. Loose on the blue paint and then flicked high and out of play. 11:43 to go in the first. Seahawks able to earn the 4 seed. They've been picked along with UNE to finish around the top of the conference. Seahawks started out hot this year and then just hit the slog here in the second half. Mix of injuries, some inconsistency, but able to get a home playoff game. Being home always so important to start the playoffs. Carabia throws it on the cage, tipped by Lippa wide. Near side, Oliver Arnberg. Leonard now lost it at the blue line, and this will be offside. Pondexter Trying to feed it into the zone. Elsewhere in the CCC, Curry and Wentworth, the other game on the docket here today. No score yet in that one. With 1:23 to go in the first period. Curry, though, outshooting the Leopards 24-4, but no score. 24 saves for Connor Carbo. Neutral zone draw won by the Seahawks. Spencer Stanley up ahead. Lippa walks it over the line, snaps it on the goal. Paddled away by Epp into the corner. Frankie Sullivan wraps it around the board. Sprinting in is Nick Holt down the left wing side. Bison looking to clear. Cross ice pass. Knocked away. Philbrick then has it his pocket picked. A whistle coming here, and this could be going against the Bison. Looks like Oliver Arnberg is going to get caught with his hand in the cookie jar. And he will go to the box. Power play for Salve with 10:51 to go in the first. Seahawks on the power play this year, 18%. Bison on the kill, 73%. Seahawks win the draw. Aruzioni up top, gets the return pass, snaps it down low. Udall trying to throw it in front, blocked and loose in the slot, and the Bison clear it down the ice. Carabia waiting behind Ream. Near side Udall now. Sprints over the line, puts on the brakes along the boards. Trying to snap it down low to Marino. Aruzioni coming in support as well. Udall in the corner right side. Tied up Marino. Trying to come and dig it out along with Aruzioni. Udall behind the net trying to carry out in front of the shot. The save made by Epp. Two shots here on the power play already for Salve. Fresh line out there. Sennett, Kraus, Lippa, Dillon, and Renda on the power play. Bison win the draw, snap it out. Dillon for Salve, moves it across to Renda. Back to Dillon, over the line left side. He'll scale it off the glass. It kicks into the right wing corner. Lippa crashing in, trying to keep it alive for Salve. He's double teamed in deep. Bison sprint to the puck, chip it off the boards. Dillon able to hold it in at the blue line. Trying to touch it quickly back to George Sennett. He's free with it along the boards. Out high to Dillon. 45 seconds to go on the power play. Renda back up top. Dillon paddles it left side. Sennett with the wrist shot. Blocker save by Epp. Seahawks collect the rebound. Kraus back up top to Dillon. Dillon shuffles back to Sennett. Dillon's drive in the slot. That's blocked. Kraus recovers for Salve in the right wing corner. Renda wide right side. Spins it on the backhand up top to Dillon. Snap left side. Sennett back into the slot. Kraus couldn't get to it. Dillon with an angle. Now right side Renda. He'll snap it on the goal. Blocked in front. Still loose in front of the cage. And Epp sprawling out covers it as it was rolling on the blue paint. 11 seconds left on the power play here for Salve. 9:02 to go in the first period. Game tied at 1. Chuck with the attacking zone draw. Right wing side, Connor Layton will take it for Salve. Bison win it, trying to clear it. Stanley can't hold it in at the blue line near side. And that should do it for the power play. Back to even strength. Tim Sweeney angles it near side. Has Walensky. Man falls down for the Bison, so Walensky stick handles in the corner. Then he lost it. Able to stick with it, though, and deflects it left side for Tim Sweeney. Centered back for Walensky. Dropped in deep to Sweeney's corner. Angled off the puck by David Shavria. He flips it end over end up the ice. This should be icing. And it is. Stanley will touch it up. 8:22 to go in the first. Seahawks will get an attacking zone draw. Six shots each. Peter Mikko on the power play from Carlson and Shavria. And then Marino from Aruzioni. That second goal that tied the game. That one from McLean, a rocket that went high. And then he levels a big hit on the far side. Seahawks dump the puck back in. Good to see McLean looking a little more active as he tries to come back into the lineup. Saw some time on the power play and the penalty kill on Sunday, on Senior Day. He's a big part of their attack. One of the more physical players out there on the ice. Here's Carlson with a drive. Actually make that Colgan. Blocked. Seahawks chip it out. Looking for McLean, and they're going to say no icing. That Carlson touched that. Nias drops it back into the corner. Curtis Carlson up the near side. Puck given away to Holt. Wanted to Ruzioni instead. Taken back by Nias. Banked off the boards. Kraus now trying to feed it up the near side. Here comes Foster over the blue line for the Bison. Sends it across. Carlson with a backhand shot that went wide. Ruzioni from in front of his own bench. Puts on the accelerators. Finds Kraus. Dancing down the middle. Carries it wide right side. Trying to throw it on the net. Looking for a tip from Ruzioni. Blocked and taken on the near side. Chipped up. Herka. Back for Kraus. Near side Mikko. Right wing corner. Scoops it towards the net. In behind the cage. Rolling into the left wing corner. Holt trying to stash it out to the point. With it once again. Moves it to Edward Herka. Up the ice, Marino trying to chop it into the zone. He'll do so and chase now after it. Zach moves it away from him to the far side to Hunter Frazier. Hogan Davidson snaps it on the goal over the glove of Ream. Philippe Virgili down the right side. Looking to set up shop for the Bison. Hogan Davidson drops it back off. Frazier with a shot. That one fought off by Ream. Frankie Sullivan across the ice, taken by Foster, then picked off by Lippa. In on the breakaway with a shot, and he scores! Eric Lippa on the breakaway puts the Seahawks on top. Didn't even give Brett Epp a chance. Took the wrist shot instead. Just picked that top right corner. 2 unanswered for Salve. 6:26 to go in the first. Arnberg wrists it around the boards. Ream will stop it in behind the net. Right wing corner, this one swept on the goal off of Ream. Bounced back into the wing. Behind the net now, Arnberg recovers in the corner. Wanted to spin back in behind the cage. Carangelo waiting for him there. Skates it to the slot and then scoops it out to center. Nias will settle things down here for the Bison. Nias across to Arnberg. Settles it in the skates. Tips it forward. Given right back to Renda. Matt Dillon. Cross ice pass deflected. Bison with it. Sent it. Trying to swat it out of there. Actually make this Udall. He gloves it down at center. Trying to spin around a man on the far side. Bison chip it off the glass. Walensky comes sprinting in. Walensky moves it back into the corner. Carabia away from Renda, making Connor Layton chase it. Seahawks now kind of in a rush here. Lost it out in front. Puck hopped in front for a shot. Ream somehow makes the save. That whole possession there was just teetering on the brink. Seahawks, a little miscommunication there with their defense. And it leads to a point-blank chance. Mark that one down with 5:17 to go in the first. Carabia wins the draw and sends it around the boards. No icing. Aruzioni over the line left side for Salve, trying to send it across. Carabia there to keep it in at the point, throws it towards the net, blocked in front. Rebound, kicks into the right wing corner. Virgili trying to carry out of the zone, turns it over. Kraus out high with a drive, that one saved. Whistle here out at center ice. And we're going to draw at center with 4:38 to go in the period. Seahawks with the win. Walensky scoops it towards the net. Epp pokes it away into the corner. Behind the net, Nate Foster. Out through center. Holt intercepts. Tried to snap it into the zone. That one's blocked by Foster up high. And here comes numbers for the Bison. Mikko poked away by Sweeney. Walensky couldn't lift the stick. Frank Zach now through center. Herka paddles it away. Walensky snaps it on the goal from center. Goes wide of Epp. Bison recover. So we took under 4 minutes to play in the first period. Justin Perron on the goal from the blue line. Ream will hang on. Seahawks quickly fell behind to start this one. Peter Mikko on the power play. And then Vincent Marino, even strength. Just a minute and 36 seconds later, tied things up before Lippa gave the Seahawks the lead. And the Bison aren't going to be allowed to make a change here. Nias and Patrick Colgan being sent back out onto the ice. Attacking zone draw here for Nichols. They win it, pass out in front. Baker with a backhand shot, and that one somehow stuffed by Ream. Oh my goodness. Have to give you a quick look at that. That one came right to Baker. Don't know how Ream, who was down, was able to stop that. Another monster save for Tony Ream. From the point, this one in on Ream with a shot. It flutters up into his glove this time, and he hangs on again. And some chippiness already starting out in front of the cage. 3:39 to go here in the first. Seahawks will have a defensive zone draw. Things picking up here. Seahawks win the draw. Renda scales it off the far side glass, but it's gloved down, and is this going to be a hand pass? It will be with 3:34 to go. I'd like to welcome into the broadcast now Commonwealth Coast Conference Commissioner Greg Kay. Greg, welcome to the show. Pretty exciting game so far. I couldn't ask for much more. We knew this is usually what we get when we get Salve and Nichols in the conference tournament.
Absolutely. This 4-5 game is always such a pivotal game in our league. We knew this was going to be a battle, and they have not failed to disappoint.
David Sharia being sent to the box here. We haven't seen a call from the officials. And now they're sending Sharia out. Are they taking the penalty away? There's no signal from the officials. Sharia now being taken to the bench, and he's not heading off. So maybe the officials just decided to pick up the flag, so to speak. Hunter Frazier off the win here for the Bison, snaps it across Baker, who's been robbed a couple of times here by Tony Ream. Sends it left side, recovers it on the wing, flings it across the ice. Seahawks trying to clear it. Carabia Challenged by Perron. Puck loose now for Lippa. 3-on-2 if the Seahawks hurry. Baker trying to get back in the frame. Sullivan with a drive. That one flicked over. Shot from the left side. Stanley saved by Epp. Sent it that time with the one-timer trying to swat it out of the air. Missed the puck. Here comes Perron, and the Bison are offside. You talk about this 4-5 game, Greg, and we've seen the Bison just a couple of years ago came here. They won that 4-5 game against Curry. They came here and upset the Seahawks and then went on to beat UNE on the road. 3 straight road victories for the Bison, so they've been in this position before.
Absolutely. I think that the depth in the conference, you have 6 teams that, things bounce the right way. Anybody could go on a nice little run here and find themselves in the tournament.
What was great about that season, too, was that the Seahawks got an at-large bid to the tournament. The Bison won the tournament. So, too, did UNE. They got an at-large. We had 3 CCC schools all in the NCAA tournament. Don't know if we're going to see that this year, but I think you could make the case for UNE and Endicott both getting to the tournament. One with an at-large potentially.
Absolutely, and
that one saved by Ream.
The part that's so tough is with such a small national field, there's the chance that you run into somebody again after knocking them off in the finals. So, just because you have teams that are going to play to a winner in this tournament doesn't mean they won't see each other again.
That's what happened with Salve and Nichols. Nichols won the championship. McLean, between the legs, carries left side, snaps it up to the point. Dillon waiting. Across to Renda. He fakes the shot, walks it in deep right side. Dropped on back, Carangelo. Across to Matt Dillon, snaps it on the goal. Save made by Epp. Seahawks upset there about a quick whistle. But Nichols won the conference championship in 2018, but I said before, the top of the broadcast, kind of a bittersweet championship because, like you said, you run right into a conference rival in the tournament and lose.
Absolutely, and that's something historically in the bigger tournament fields like basketball or soccer, they really try to spread out multiple teams in the conference so you're not playing them until at least the second round. But in hockey, if you got a 12-team tournament and 3 teams from the same league, especially with the East-West split, you're going to run into somebody very, very quickly.
Connor Layton trying to get to it. Tim Sweeney working in the corner. Walensky knocks it away. Walensky's been very active here in this first period. Connor Layton trying to center it. No one home. He spun it on the backhand right up the middle. Ream will touch it to Renda. Clock rolling with 1:19 to go in the first. Seahawks trailed 1-0. Might have come back to score 2 unanswered to take the lead. Dillon across to Renda, trying to walk it over the line, and the Seahawks are offside. 1:09 to go in the period. So, Greg, we're in the midst of the crossover season right now, so it's a mad dash. You got all the spring sports now getting into action. Basketball and hockey both headed to the playoffs. Is there any better time? I know it's busy on all of us in the sports communications world, but there's very few times that are better when you have so much compelling and exciting action.
It's a lot of fun, and as we saw, last night on the basketball side, especially on the men's side, anybody can beat anybody. These games are just so exciting. And I think for those of us that have been through a long year, whenever you start getting that first taste of spring sports, it's always a lot of fun because the good weather's right around the corner, or at least we hope it is.
I was going to say, we hope that it stays as warm as it's been once the spring season starts. Miko with a soft shot blocked by Ream, loose in the corner. I know, I've been saying for a while, as soon as baseball and softball season starts, it'll all of a sudden be snowing. Marino, 50-50 puck here with Nias, who cuts him off. And the two of them throw shoulders in the corner. Kraus trying to rip it away in deep. 30 seconds to go in the period. Seahawks fell behind 1-0, but a very strong answer here from them. Sullivan strong up the right side, lost the puck. Marino drops it off. Kraus in the high slot with a little toe drag. Kraus backhand shot, trying to get it across. Seahawks had 2 men there on the back door and couldn't get the puck there. Spencer Stanley in behind the cage, walks it into the corner, and the Seahawks will just kill time here. Final seconds come off the clock, and that'll do it. Big response from Salve. They fall behind 1-0. They score 2 unanswered to take the lead at the break. We'll keep it here with Greg. Greg, I want to talk to you quickly. we've known for a while, but we had the official announcement in the fall, and with the women's hockey tournament starting this year, we could talk about that. Next year, for the CCC schools, there will be CCC women's hockey. How important was that to get that done and to finally have pretty much all under one umbrella?
Boy, it's so exciting. I know we were all happy once we were able to get the men's side under the CCC umbrella. The only problem is when you do that and you've got one other gender that's out there still competing under another league's name, it's kind of like a glaring weakness. And we were fortunate in that the stars really aligned. The Colonial teams from outside the CCC that were playing in the Colonial, they were able to go and play in a New York-based league, which makes a little more sense for them. And just the addition of Suffolk as a full member. And then right on the heels of that, Western New England, who'd been working on trying to get a program off the ground, they made their announcement. Curry, who'd been talking about it for even longer than Western New England, they're going to be able to add a team as well. So it's really, really exciting. We had a young lady from Nichols who had interned in our office a couple of years ago, and they feel kind of left out.
Does they heckle you every single day?
Yeah, the men's side, they get the All CC awards, and they're on the website and the players of the week. So just being able to bring it in-house is tremendous. And kudos to my friend Katie Boldvich of the Colonial for just being so supportive of it. She is long been an advocate of women's ice hockey and wants what's best for the sport. And I think any time that multi-sport conferences can add it to the mix, it's just better for everybody involved. So I'm really excited, and that's going to be a lot of fun next year.
Quick note on Katie. Talk about somebody who's super busy along with the rest of us. The commissioner of multiple conferences as well. She does a great job with a lot on her plate.
It's really something else. She she's doing the New England Hockey Conference, men and women. She's doing the Colonial, which obviously is women. Commissioner of the Landmark Conference. Lives up in the Boston area. Her multi-sport conference is kind of in and around the Baltimore area. So we're all busy, but for the most part, wherever life takes us during the day, somebody like myself, or if you're traveling with a team, you're going to be able to make it, home at the end of the night. So it's crazy for all of us, but boy, that's really a very busy stretch that she has during championships in multiple conferences.
One of the big things for men's ice hockey this season was the overtime change. They wanted to try and break up, nationally, if you ended in a tie at the end of the first overtime, it went in as a tie. But for the conference, we didn't want to have those ties. We wanted to break up the standings as best as we could. So you went to a 3-on-3 overtime and then a 1-for-1 sudden death or sudden victory shootout. What was the response to that? The feedback from that? Personally, it never got there, at least for any Salve home games. It happened a couple of times on the road. But what's been the response from the teams, the athletic communications departments, and is that going to be a thing again next season? Yeah,
our coaches will get together and they'll revisit it at the end of the year. The thing that is really neat about it, and they've been talking about it for a couple of years before it got implemented, they wanted something that essentially not only would lead to further separation, going from 2 points to 3 points and whatnot, but they wanted something that was fun for the student athletes. And I've got to think that nobody likes a tie. It's part of sports, it's part of the game, but anytime you get a chance to do something different, skating 3-on-3 or go to the shootout, it's a lot of fun. I mean, from my standpoint, and I think it's probably just because I'm not too bright, it's kind of hard to follow the standings as it is compared to some other sports, but it's also a lot of fun, going into the final weekend. And
so many possibilities.
Yeah, you've got a maximum of 6 points on the line in every series, and things can change really quickly.
Teams could go from 5 to 2, just like that.
Absolutely. So I think it was a lot of fun. every year in every sport, the various NCAA rules committees will send out things asking for feedback from commissioners, athletic directors, coaches. And I know when I got one a few weeks ago from the men's hockey rules committee, one of the things that they were asking about, and I was personally supportive of this, is should every game around the country be played under the same rules? I'd love to see it take hold nationally, simply because a result would be a result.
You'd have to have the meeting of the 5 families to get something like that done.
Absolutely. But that's really, I think, the confusing part is that, each game that goes into those extra periods, depending upon who you talk to or what website you go to, it may show up as either a tie or a win of some kind. So it would be great if everybody were doing it, if it were part of the standard operating procedure. And then, of course, we get to the conference tournament, and we're back to the standard postseason format. And I don't want to jinx any of us, but if this goes to overtime, we're playing a full 20-minute
now, the minute I brought up discussion, this game was going to go to an extra period.
That's right. And you and I have certainly witnessed some amazing overtime hockey over the last couple of years. But, I think it was a lot of fun. It was certainly something different. I think it's a little bit different on the college side compared to the NHL, because when you're only playing 16, 17, 18 conference games, those extra points can really mean a whole lot. If you're playing 80 games, maybe not so much, but it really did keep things loose and keep things high flying throughout the year. So coaches will talk about it. I've got to think that they'll want to give it another go, and we'll see. We'll see what happens, and we'll see if nationally it becomes something that becomes more the rule than the exception.
From the conference standpoint, any other irons that are in the fire, changes, improvements, things that could be on the horizon for the CCC men's ice hockey, or just the CCC at large?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that next year we'll be adding Suffolk to the league as a full member. They'll get us in most sports back to 10, which is nice for scheduling purposes. That's going to be the first new full member that we've had since 2007, which was my first year with the conference, and that's when Western New England came on board. So that'll be exciting. They've got a lot of really great people, a lot of great coaches. They've done some good things as far as securing some nice facilities over in the East Boston area. They're located right smack in the middle of downtown Boston, right by the State House. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. With women's hockey coming on board, I think from the sports sponsorship standpoint, we're kind of in a good place, but we still talk about a lot of other things. Is men's volleyball ever going to be an option for us? What happens with ventures like esports that you're starting to see take hold nationally? So the conversations are always ongoing. We have a great group of schools. We have great people that like to work well together and want to do things that advance not just the conference but the individual schools. So some big things with women's hockey and with Suffolk, and I'm sure there's more to come.
All right. Well, Greg, thank you for coming up onto the broadcast and joining me. We're going to step aside now. There's got a couple of minutes left while they finish tending to the ice. Salve Regina leading Nichols 2-1 here at the break. Greg, do you want to stick around for some of the second period?
Absolutely. I'd love to.
All right. So we won't say goodbye quite yet, but we will step aside while they finish tending to the ice. Salve Regina leading Nichols 2-1. Don't go anywhere. Plenty of exciting Commonwealth Coast Conference tournament action coming up. Welcome back to the Abbey. Andrew Pizzelli here, bringing you the call. Start of the second period. Salve Regina leading Nichols 2-1. And we're joined in the booth by Commonwealth Coast Conference Commissioner Greg Kay. Greg, that was a pretty exciting first period. What are you looking for here at the start from Nichols as they try to respond?
Yeah, I think Nichols wants to try to keep things close. I think they want to keep playing a physical style of game. That's kind of the way they do things, and I think we're going to see a couple more goals somehow in this period.
Zach Kalan always talks about it's not 3 20-minute periods. They play in little 10-minute bursts. You put together 10 minutes. And hopefully at the end of the game, you've played a complete game. Seahawks lost that first 10 of the period. They recovered. This one left in the slot. Not a good start. Here's a wrist shot. Save made by Reeb. And the rebound punched in. Nate Foster ties the game just like that, right on cue. Seahawks turn it over in their own zone. Reem had made a number of big saves in that first period to keep things in favor of Salve Regina. That time just left out to dry.
A little startled there. For folks that don't know, we use goal judges in the conference tournament. All of a sudden, he winds up and fires one home, and the red light comes on. We don't see that too much in our league.
Broadcasters appreciate that. We know exactly when pucks are in. Shavria behind the net. Game tied. It's the type of game we thought we'd get, a back and forth contest. Seahawks fell behind 1-0, scored 2 straight. Now the Bison knot things up again. Both of these teams have been there before, so sent it with a one-timer off a deflection. Almost able to get that one to go. Behind the net, sent it now in the corner right side, trying to center it for Philbrick. Deflected to Carangelo. He'll swat it in on the backhand. Left wing corner, Philbrick can't get to it. Nias for the Bison scoops it out through center, giving away to Edward Herka. Herka. Philbrick over the line. Loose in the slot, grabbed by the Bison. Bounced out through center. Baker drops it all the way back, and Shavria will take it from Brett Epp. Clock rolling here in the second. 18 minutes to go in the period. This Bison team knows how to play with desperation. Virgili in the corner right side. Looking to spin around. Carangelo centers it. That one knocked away from Mangone. They had a tough start to the season and then went on a 10-0-2 stretch. That one on the goal. Saved by Reem. Basically have been playing playoff hockey, Greg, since January.
Absolutely. To me, it's really two very intriguing teams because you have Nichols, basically a complete tale of two teams, and then Salve with all of the injuries and things that they've had to deal with. Depending upon who's available, you don't know what you're going to get on a given night. So it's good to see the Seahawks getting healthy, and it's good to see that Nichols got the ship righted quite a bit as the season wore on.
It was surprising to see at the start for a team that's perennially always in the mix. Seeing them down in the cellar. Unexpected.
The schedule maker wasn't very kind to them with some of their early
No, they did
matchups.
have. When you start the season with Adrian, that's a tough bid. Bison played Adrian, Buffalo State, Salve twice, then Endicott, then Curry, then Endicott again, and Franklin Pierce. Yeah, 0-10 to start the year. 2 of those losses were in overtime. But since January, they lost their first 2, Bryn Athyn and St. John's, Minnesota, but then they went on a 10-0-2 run. That's how they got here today. Layton recovers this puck in the corner. Up top to Renda. Softly paddles it in deep. Tim Sweeney stops it, wanted to center it. Loose in the wing. Renda races in, touches it back to Sweeney. Sweeney strong on the boards. Layton with a drive. That's blocked. Gets it back. Throws it towards the net, looking for a tip from Walensky. And it's sent behind the cage.
I don't think the goalie expected that puck to go all the way through. It kind of caught him by surprise at the last instant.
Marino with the wraparound. That one off the mark. Epp holding that right pipe. His right, our left. A little more jawing in behind the net. The tie game, wouldn't expect to see too much funny business. These teams have been known to get into it. That whole familiarity breeds contempt. Walensky new to the Salve Nichols rivalry after transferring from Air Force, but right away, not afraid to get in the mix. From the point, Dillon with a shot, loose in the slot and grabbed by the Bison. Quickly snatching that one away was Noah Pondexter. Pondexter now with it, went to go wrist it on the goal, and he lost the puck. Renda grabs the roller in behind the net and gets it away to Caden Kraus. Kraus through center. Vincent Marino with an angle over the line right side. Marino with a wrist shot, that one high and wide. Kraus races over, can't get the rebound to stay in the zone. Carrying now at the blue line, leaves it in space. Renda near side, out to center. Here comes Kraus with an angle right side. Kraus trying to play it in front for Ruzioni. Spencer Stanley recovering left side, lost it in the circle, and the Bison come back the other way. Frank Zach throws it on the net and into the glove of Ream. Danny Ruzioni had an assist in that first period. His 71st of his career. He leads the Seahawks in all-time career assists and is now just 5 points away from becoming the Seahawks' all-time leading scorer in just his junior season.
The reigning conference player of the week, and I thought it was very fitting of all weeks that Danny won that award. He's just a very, very solid, consistent player who sometimes I think goes a little bit unsung. He's always quiet. He's always going to give you good effort and great playmaker, just an outstanding young man.
Well, that's the sign of an ultimate. I mean, you lead a team in career assists. Some of it requires your teammates to make the shots, but he sets guys up in great spots often. And everybody looks at who scores the goals, but a lot of guys the last 3 years have benefited from his ability to make plays and always seems under control. That's what you see out of the great players. It doesn't look like they're expending an insane amount of energy or making crazy plays. It's being able to make the simple plays in the hardest moments.
Absolutely. Somebody that probably has been around hockey since the moment he was born. It's a real innate skill that he has.
Carabia right side, snaps it on the goal. That goes wide. And for those that might not know, the reason Greg says it's fitting that Ruzioni got that award last week, as this one's in the slot, rolling towards the net and wide. Wrist shot on an off angle. Ream covers it up. We had the 40th anniversary of the Miracle on Ice this past weekend, and Danny, the nephew of famed Mike Ruzioni of Miracle on Ice fame.
Just love reliving all that. I was in 9th grade during the 1980 Winter Olympics, and for 12 days, that was it. That was what we lived and breathed, and it was a much different time when you had to try and follow a sport. We didn't have the instantaneous information and communication like you do now.
Do you remember watching it on TV on tape delay?
Watched every single one of those games, and I remember trying to avoid the score like the plague. It was a Friday afternoon, and you just never know who's going to blurt something out. And school ended, get right in the car, drive home, don't put any televisions on, keep the radio off, and boy, it was a lot of fun.
A lot easier to stay away from a score back then than now.
Absolutely.
I'd have to bury my phone in the backyard. Renda flips this out to center, and the Bison quickly enter it right back into the zone. Dillon spinning in the corner left side. Moves it up the near side boards, but can't get it out. Hogan Davidson tips it in deep. Dillon near corner. Skips it out through center, and a foot race here, and oh, that's a tough call. Sent it shoulder for shoulder with Frank Zach. And I'm sure the officials want to call that just to avoid a monstrous collision along the boards, but Sennett looked like he maybe had a step there. Seahawks win the draw off the icing. Brenda sends it cross ice, and this could be icing again. They wave it off. Nias in deep. Blitz by John McLean. Up the near side, cross ice pass deflected by Carangelo. Miko gives it away to Udall, knifed away from him. Carangelo on the far side. Can't get it past center, and now it hops to Udall. He'll sprint over the blue line, trying to carry down the middle. Lost it. Carangelo tiptoeing the line, keeps it alive, races into the circle right side, moves it out top to the point. McLean on the backhand just sends it into space. No one home for Salve, so Nias sends it ahead for Dillon to intercept, and then Carlson pokes it away from him. Centered for Miko, out of his reach. Carangelo sweeps it back out to center for Nias. Nias once again. Here comes John McLean. He tries to send it on the goal from center. Instead it blocks and dribbles into the corner. Seahawks change up their lines. Carlson carries wide right side, snaps it on the goal. Ream gives up a big rebound. Seahawks there to corral the puck. Back the other way comes Walensky with speed. Snaps it on the goal. Gets his own rebound back. Leaves it in the corner left side. And now the Bison will try and clear it. Walensky is down in the far side corner. And there's no delayed penalty. The Seahawk bench is irate. Not only is his stick broken, but Walensky down and in some pain. We will take a break while the Seahawks, Emily Miller, trainer for the Seahawks, is out to him. Actually, that's not Walensky, that's Tim Sweeney. The jersey all crumpled up. So Sweeney is the man down. We will take a break while they sort this out. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Abbey. 13:03 to go in the second. Tim Sweeney is helped off the ice, holding up near his left shoulder on the inside of the pads. And don't know for sure, but when you see that, it looks like a collarbone or something like that. Don't know if he's just shaken up and will be able to come back into the game or not.
Never want to speculate, but it was good to see Emily able to get him off the ice fairly quickly and under his own power.
Seahawks were looking for some sort of penalty there. None coming, so we stay even. Andrew Pizzelli alongside Greg Kay bringing you the call. Seahawks trying to clear the puck, and it's touched ahead for Aruzioni with space left side. Dropped off for the trail. For a shot, and that one blocked. Bison looking to counter now with numbers. Baker through center. Lost it over the blue line. Gets it back. Two Seahawks collide. Freeing up Baker with a shot, and he scores! Some nifty footwork and hands there from J.B. Baker. From coast to coast. Nearly lost it there at the blue line. Two Seahawks got tied up. And just like that, the Bison here in the second score two unanswered, and they take the lead. Back and forth we go. Carabia in behind the net, gives it away to Matt Dillon. Actually make that Spencer Stanley who angles it off the boards and in, and this will be icing against Salve. 12:29 to go in the second. Nichols with the 3-2 lead. Wentworth leading Curry now 2-1. Late stages of the second. Mangone with a shot that's blocked by Carabia. George Sennett, far side boards, looks to send it ahead for Frankie Sullivan. He'll win the race, so no icing. Sullivan cutting in behind the cage. Lippa in the corner, shuffles it up top to the point. Stanley waiting, snap back wide to Lippa. Trying to center it, and it's deflected up and out of play. Curry outshooting Wentworth 43-19, yet the Leopards lead 2-1. Goals from Sam Mines and Casey O'Brien. Curry finally getting on the board with Matthew Henderson.
Wentworth's goalie has really played very well for them down the stretch, and you kind of feel for these guys that face 40, 50 shots a night, but boy, he's been getting it done for them.
Curtis Carlson flicks it ahead into the right wing corner. Renda moves it into the left wing side. Chevrier to touch it back in for the Bison. Puck rolling against the far side boards. John McLean wanted to backhand it ahead for Carangelo, instead intercepted by Chevrier, and then he is shoved hard into the near side boards. They are letting him play. Raheem hangs on in the blue paint. Becker and Salve Regina tied at 1 over in Middletown. That's the Seahawks women's ice hockey team. Becker outshooting the Seahawks 13-9. Maddie McCann scored on the power play to give the Seahawks a 1-0 lead, and Claire Conway, leading scorer for the Hawks, tied things up in the second period. That's the 4-5 matchup in the Colonial Hockey Conference as well.
Winner of that game, I assume, goes on to play Endicott.
Goes to play Endicott. They have the distinction of going to face the 9th-ranked Gulls, who are undefeated. Winner here today would go either to UNE or Endicott. Here comes Stanley with speed with a shot, and Epp hangs on. It really depends on what happens with Wentworth and Curry.
Yeah, that is another thing that's different about men's hockey in the CCC compared to our other sports. We do reseed everybody after the quarterfinal round, so it's not a straight elimination bracket like you would see in many of the other sports. And the number 1 seed is always going to play the highest remaining seed of the advancing teams.
Hunter Frazier waiting behind the net. Now quickly out to center ice. Mangone sprints over the line left side. Right towards the goal. Stanley pokes it free from him. Puck loose in behind the net. And guess who's back out there? Tim Sweeney.
Oh,
that is good to see.
Good news.
Stanley tripped up behind the net, and here comes a penalty. Just what the doctor ordered for Salve Regina. Sweeney went off a couple of minutes ago in a lot of distress, but really great to see him back out on the ice. I didn't know you could buy a new arm that quickly.
Boy, kudos to Emily for getting him back out there.
Working her magic.
One of the best. We have some great athletic trainers throughout our conference.
Talk about unsung heroes.
Absolutely.
Carabia straight away up top. Snaps it right side to Sullivan. Seahawks on the power play, trying to tie the game. Aruzioni, right side. Frankie Sullivan gathers it off the wall. Walks it in deep, plays it around. Udall spins it on the backhand. Aruzioni touched up top to Carabia. Paddle to Sullivan. Top of the right wing circle. Waiting, snaps it on the goal, and it's blocked. Fight for the rebound. Sullivan sends it quickly around to Udall. Behind the net, Walensky. Make this Marino. Udall in the corner. Shuffle to Aruzioni. Dancing out high at the left point. And he's able to hold the line. No, he's not.
Wow, that was close.
Faceoff will come out to neutral ice. We were talking earlier, Greg, about crossover season and how nuts it is for the communications people handling. The trainers, even more so right now, are handling spring sport practices, in-season winter sports, non-traditional seasons for our fall sports.
It's really amazing.
Can't give them enough love.
Yeah, absolutely. And, certainly everybody enjoys the winter teams having success, but what that does is it lengthens their year even more, having to staff additional games, practices, and whatnot.
We call those happy problems. Renda. Seahawks on the power play here. Moves it up top. Across. Dillon at the point. Snap back to Renda. Dillon straight away. Left side to George Sennett. Waiting with a wrist shot, and he scores! George Sennett snaps it past Epp, and we start again. 9:41 to go in the second. Can look at the replay here. Dillon to Sennett in the left wing circle, just waited for a minute, and then over the blocker of Brett Epp. 3-3. This is exactly the type of game we thought we were going to get. Walensky and Perron getting into it here. The linesman Riley not having any of it. And credit to him, he's telling them, hey, cut it out. I don't want to have to call a penalty. And they're just going to toss Layton so that they can move Walensky away from Perron here.
They are letting them play, but certainly they don't want to call something if they don't have to.
Quick stoppage here. They have to take the penalty time off the board. Game tied at 3. 9:41 to go in the second. And we're ready to go. Walensky fired the draw forward. Bison control. Give it right back to Spencer Stanley. He can't clear the zone. Baker keeps it in. Paddle down low. Back to the right side to Crivello, and he has it knifed away. Walensky now. He's got speed. Looks to turn back the other way. Ducks the shoulder. Drives to the goal with a backhand shot, and a penalty coming here against the Bison. The speed of Mitch Walensky causing that. Greg, this is going to be one of those games where there's about 18 different turning points.
Absolutely. So far, there's been a little pattern of the way the scoring's been working too. After that first initial goal,
runs of
everybody,
two.
Answer with 2 goals, and something tells me the scoring's not done.
Power play here for the Seahawks once again. 9:20 to go in the second. Seahawks look to retake the lead. They win the draw. Sennett, who just tied it, up top to Matt Dillon. Renda right side, up top to Dillon. Waiting. Renda trying to snap it on the goal. Kraus tried to spin it on the backhand. Has it in the left wing corner now. Hands off to George Sennett. Left wing corner, up top to Dillon. Renda paddles it in front, and it's sent wide by Kraus. Hanging around the back door. Dillon quickly back to Renda. Trying to spin away from Hogan Davidson. Played it into the slot, and that one's picked off and swept down by Nate Foster. Clock rolling with 8:38 to go in the second. 1:15 to go on the power play here for Salve. Caden Kraus to Marino. Keeps it alive. Now walks it left side. Swings it out high to Dillon. Seahawks resetting the power play here. They bring Aruziani onto the ice. Udall. Left side, back to Aruzioni. Up top to Dillon. Renda with space right side. Wrist shot. Tape made by Epp. Renda upset with himself. He fired that one right into the gut of Epp. 8:12 to go in the second. 53 seconds to go on the power play for Salve. Attacking zone draw, right wing side. Marino will take it against Foster. Seahawks win the draw. Carabia out high to Eruzione. Gets the return pass, floats it towards the cage. Udall tips it, and Epp saves that one with his helmet. Udall across to Sullivan, waiting with a wrist shot, and that's blocked by Nias. Carabia keeps it alive at the blue line. Bison scrambling to get back defensively here. Puck trapped in behind the cage, around the boards. Udall out high to Carabia. Eruzione with a drive and a pad save made by Epp. And then the Bison clear out the rebound. Ream leaves it for Carabia. Maybe time for one last rush. 10 seconds to go now on the power play. Quickly up for Eruzione across the ice to Frankie Sullivan. Scoops it over the line. Into the corner right side. Look to throw down the goal. Wide of the glove of Epp. Carabia at the point. Left side back to even strength. Throws it on the net. That one's blocked by Nias. And he scoops it out wide of Pondexter. Snapped up the near side to Udall. Puck on the near side boards. Pondexter leaves it for Carlson, able to get around Udall. His wrist shot is blocked. Bison feed it into the corner left side. Mikko up ahead of the field. Carries into the right wing circle now. Straight away in the slot with a shot, and that one missed the net. Rebound punched out in front. Herka can't get to it. Mikko with a third shot, and that one's blocked. Pondexter with a drive. Carabia standing in front of that one. Scoops it back to the Bison end. Hunter Frazier weaving his way, and he's offside. Start of the third period up in Milton. Wentworth still on top of Curry, 2-1. Even though Curry is out shooting the Leopards 45-20.
44 saves for Connor Carbo in net for the Wentworth Leopards.
Puck given away to the Bison, far side. J.B. Baker tangling with Tim Sweeney. Sweeney gets it away to senior captain Nick Holt. Out through center. Taken by Walensky with a wrist shot. That one blocked. Loose in front, rolling towards the net, and Epp covers it up. .608 to go in the second. This game, as we expected, tied at 3. Weren't sure what the numbers were going to be, but these two teams we knew were going to battle even. Who will have the last laugh? Dylan waiting in behind the net, sends it up to center. Danny Philbrick surveying the field, carries over the line, sends it left side. Carangelo, his one-timer blocked from behind. Chavria and behind Brett Epp. Walks it out near side. Sent into the zone. Renda moves it across to Matt Dillon. Here comes Danny Eruzione. Tried to get it across to Caden Krause, a little bit behind him. Here comes Hogan Davidson over the line left side. Davidson to the circle, plays it in front, and that one just wide of Mangone. Virgili recovers in deep, throws it into the corner. Danny Philbrick there for Salve. Scaled into the far side corner. Krause carries out to center. Looks to accelerate up the ice. Krause with the self pass. Chases it down left wing side. Krause feeds it out tied to the point. Stanley across to Carabia. Tried to play it into the middle to Krause. That pass behind him. Bison can clear here. Virgili. Glove down at center, but given away to Carabia. Krause on the backhand feeds it into the slot. Picked off by Frank Zach. Zach to Mangone across the ice. Here comes Hogan Davidson. Over the line left side. Off to the trailer. Virgili. His wrist shot. That one blocked. Hold on the cage. Dream the save. And the rebound kicks away from him. Out to the point. Hunter Frazier for the Bison recovers. Snap left side. Davidson with a drive. And that one saved by Ream. 4:19 to go in the second. Game tied at 3. The This is the quarterfinal round of the Commonwealth Coast Conference tournament. It's been a back and forth affair. Seahawks with a slight edge, 25-21 in shots on goal. Seahawks have trailed 1-0 and 3-2 in this game. George Sennett able to tip it out of the zone. Carlson for the Bison. Moves it across. Luke Andraki sends it on the goal. It hops in front of Ream. He dropped it right in front of him. Seahawks come away with old Lippa. Up to Frankie Sullivan with space right side. Lippa rips it on the goal and into the glove of Epp. And that'll get a draw here in the attacking end for Salve with 3:54 to go in the second. Lippa, Sullivan, Herka, Holt, and Sennett, the line out there right now for Salve. Foster wins the draw away from Lippa. Sends it up the far side boards. Race for it here, no icing. Herka trying to lock up his man. Holt comes from the backside. Delayed penalty coming here. Bison with it in the left wing corner. Trying to get the extra attacker on, and they do. Pondexter, 6-on-5. Here's Pondexter with a wrist shot. Save made by Ream. Foster recovers in deep. Pondexter out high to Miko in the slot. Plays it right side off the stick of Zach. He tracks it down. Extra attacker on here for the Bison. Delayed penalty coming against Nick Holt. Here's a drive, and that one's blocked up and out of play. And we can address the penalty. Clear as day, Nick Holt came in and hit a man from behind. Boarding is the call. That gives the Bison the power play and a chance to retake the lead. Attacking zone draw here for Nichols. Davidson will take it against John McLean. Right wing circle. Face-off won by the Bison. One-timer save made by Ream. Crivello recovers in the corner. Up top to Perron, right side. Snaps it off the far side boards. Virgili lost it in the corner. Numbers here maybe for Salve Regina. Udall with speed over the line right side, short-handed. Carries into the corner and races in behind the cage. Lost it. And now we'll get back defensively. Udall, Aruzioni, Renda, and Dillon now. Walensky comes back on for Udall. The penalty killers for Salve Regina. Baker, cross ice. Crivello lost it in the slot. Dillon lifts it up the near side boards. Can't get it out. Back to Baker now at center. Perron over the line right side. To the circle. Pulls up on the wing. Setting up the power play. Backdoor Verdilli with a shot. Save made by Ream. Baker, top of the left wing circle. Right side for the one-timer that goes wide. Virgili out top to Baker again. Straight away. Baker waiting. Walks it in. Fakes. Turns. Leaves it out at the point for Perron. Perron left side. Gets the return pass. One-timer. That one skipped just wide. Tipped in front. Seahawks find it. Walensky on the near side boards. I think has drawn a penalty. Hooking is the call. Heading to the box is Philippe Virgili, voicing his displeasure with the call. So 39 seconds to go on the power. There was 39 seconds to go on the power play. We'll skate 4-on-4 now for those 39 seconds, and then the Seahawks will get the power play. Attacking zone draw for Salve. Sennett with it in the corner. Knocked down. Lippa battling with Zach. Even strength here. Frazier left it behind the net to Frank Zach. 1:30 to go in the second. It's been a wild second period. Zach, left side to Foster, trying to get it back to Zach in front. That one off the mark. Out of the box comes Holt. Power play here for the Seahawks. 1:18 to go on it. Stanley, left side, lost it in behind the net, paddled away by Epp. Diving attempt made by Marino to keep it alive. Carabia holds it at the blue line, trying to swing it back down the boards to Aruzioni. Picked off by the Bison and just out of the reach of a man there. Short-handed. That was Mangone. Mangone here disrupting behind the net. Seahawks trying to get the power play sorted out here. Udall lost it at the blue line. Looks up and drops it back down. Carabia sprinting forward. Wheels it around the boards. Into the left wing corner. The Bison get it and they clear it. 18 seconds to go in the period. 25 seconds to go on the power play. Time for one more rush here for Salve. Carabia snaps it all the way up the ice. Over the line left side, Marino. Carries into the corner. Angle to the boards. Kraus trying to dig it out for Salve along with Marino. And the Bison just pin it to the boards. That's just savvy penalty killing there from the sophomore Frank Zach. The Seahawks will have 8 seconds left on the power play when we start the third period. Greg, what are your thoughts here on this wild second period?
Boy, we knew this was going to be a great game, and now we're down to a 20-minute game at least. It's been entertaining to watch. Well worth the price of admission.
Just making sure there's no funny business here. But with a tie game, don't expect to see any. But we'll expect there to be a little chippiness in the third period. Familiar foes, Salve Regina and Nichols College. Go figure, we're tied at 3 at the end of 2. Well, Greg, I want to thank you for coming on the broadcast and joining us. Always a pleasure to have you. When you're around, we know it's usually a big game. It's conference championships. It's the playoffs. So you're the good luck charm. You know we're in some big games when Greg K comes to visit us here.
My favorite time of year. I've seen the Seahawks play, but I wasn't able to catch a home game during the regular season. I'm glad it worked out, and boy, picked the right day to be here.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
I bet you want to jump off the head. You want to go get in the crowd on this one. It's going to be an exciting third period. Game tied at 3. We make the turn for home after they tend to the ice. You're watching the Commonwealth Coast Conference playoffs on the Salve Athletics Network. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Abbey. Andrew Pizzelli here, bringing you the call of this Commonwealth Coast Conference men's ice hockey quarterfinal matchup. Go figure, the Seahawks and Bison are tied at 3. This is exactly the type of game we thought we'd get between these two. A back and forth game. The Seahawks trailed 1-0. They scored 2 straight to take the lead. Then in the second period, 3 goals, 2 for the Bison. Foster and Baker gave the Bison the lead before George Sennett on the power play knotted things up. The Seahawks will have 8 seconds of a power play here to start this third period. Not much time. Seahawks with a 26-24 shot advantage. Tony Ream has made 21 saves. Brett Epp has made 23 on the other side for the Bison. A little bit of a delay here. Not sure if we got a timeout. I didn't see a signal. It would be an odd time for either team to take time. The officials are grouped up right in front of the scorer's box having a discussion. Both teams seem ready to go. Not sure what the discussion is here. And it looks like we're ready to go. Third period here at the Abbey, ready to go. Seahawks with a quick power play. Can they make something out of it? Aruzione's shot is blocked into the corner. 3 seconds to go. 2 seconds, 1 second, and we're back to even strength. Caden Krause in the corner of the attacking end left side. Angled off the puck. Foster moves it out into space, out to center. Renda hops on it for Salve and flicks it back into the zone. Foster has it deflect right back to Renda, backpedaling in his zone. Snapped it up the near side. Aruzione couldn't grab the bouncing puck. Here comes Mikko, shouldered by Renda. Wrist shot, save made by Ream. Puck backhanded on the net, and Ream holds it with the glove, sprawling out, and the net off its moorings. Player went crashing into the cage as well, into the end boards. Trying to see who that is. It looks like that's Caden Krause. The official right away motioning for him to come to the bench. Krause has got a smile on his face. I don't think we have a penalty here. We don't. Well, we saw Tim Sweeney go off earlier in a lot of distress, and he was able to come back to the game. Krause not nearly as shook up after that hit, and he'll get tended to by Seahawk athletic trainer Emily Miller. Attacking zone draw for the Bison, and Carabia trying to chip it off the glass and out. Has it hit off a stanchion. Draw will stay in the attacking end for Nichols with 19:21 to go in the third period. Wentworth still leading Curry 2-1 with 4:08 to go in the third. Getting outshot 52-23. That would be a big upset. This one thrown wide of the pipe. If the Leopards hang on to win that game, then the winner of this one would head up to Endicott. Shot from the wing and a big rebound. Couldn't be getting to for Salve. Here comes Crivello. Numbers for the Bison. Crivello down the slot, dancing into the corner. Plays it in behind the net. Seahawks intercept there. Stanley moves it up to George Sennett. Across the ice for Nick Holt. All alone here with the Seahawks on the change. He'll just sail it around the boards. John McLean comes rushing in, throws the shoulder in the corner left side. Knocks a man down, recovers the puck, out to the point. Perka with a drive that's blocked. Right side, Holt with a bomb that goes wide. Carangelo on the off angle, sends it around. Holt keeps it alive, chips it on the back end into the corner right side. And the Bison are able to clear it. Carangelo knifes it down. Bison bench screaming for a high stick, and it doesn't come. Udall ducks the shoulder right side, carrying him behind the net. Udall back out in front with a shot, and somehow Epp hangs on. The Seahawks say it's in. The light isn't on, and the official says no. Seahawks claiming that Epp reached behind, that one was in. We stay tied. 18:06 to go in the third. Attacking zone draw, shot played wide of the net. Frank Zach. Connor Layton throws the shoulder into him. Zach able to get the pass away. Tipped into the zone by the Bison. Renda in the corner, swings it around the boards. Hogan Davidson kicks it down the left wing side. Given away to Virgili. He tries to feather it on the net. Mangone swats it down the right wing corner. Virgili left side. Behind the net, Davidson. Tied up with Matt Dillon. Seahawks race back the other way. Here comes Mitch Walensky. Walensky down the middle. Keeps on going. Carries out to the point. Knocked down. Virgili with it. Sprints back the other way for the Bison. Philippe Virgili with a wrist shot. That one didn't miss by much. Danny Philbrick carrying over the line left side. Snaps it high and wide of the net. Rebound up the far wall. Marino will race back through center and reset. Drops back to Stanley. Across to Carabia. He sails it into the zone. Aruzioni chasing after it left side. Left off for a drive. Fought off by Epp. Philbrick tried to cut in left side. Aruzioni comes away. Philbrick has the steal. Centers it towards Marino. He has to crash in left side for it. Nias with it for the Bison on the far side corner. Up the ice, but no icing here. And they do call it. Seahawks will get the attacking zone draw with 16:36 to go. Bison able to clear it. Puck against the far boards. Trapped in the skates of Eric Lippa. Frankie Sullivan nudges it forward. Chevria with it for the Bison. Cuts in behind the cage. And now we'll look to break out. Chevria still waiting for reinforcements. Picked off by Sullivan. Lippa now over the line right side. Puts on the brakes. Swings it towards the net. Blocked in front. Nias in behind the cage. Lifts it off the boards, but not out. Lippa right side. Throws it on the net. Save made by Epp. George Sennett in behind the cage. Lost it. Over in Middletown, the Seahawk women ice hockey team able to tie things up 2-2 with Becker in that Colonial Hockey Conference first round matchup. 35 seconds to go in that game, and the team's tied at 2. Tied here at 3-3. Wraparound chance. That one denied. Miko slips behind the cage, and a delayed penalty coming here. Frank Zach spins at the point. Extra attacker on for the Bison. Udall touches it up. He gets tripped up. Seahawks want to get double calls here. The Bison will go back to the power play. Seahawks 1 for 4. Bison 1 for 2. $15-12 to go in the third. Power play for the Bison. Mangone, right side to Perron. Right wing circle. Sends it through the slot. Dillon trying to dig it out on the far side, and here comes a penalty. Davidson tripping up Dylan. Hogan Davidson furious, and the referee trying to use his discretion and skate away from Davidson, not wanting to have to give anything supplementally here. The official Halak making that call. Head coach Parker Burgess wants to have a discussion, and it's not going to happen. That comes just 16 seconds into the Bison power play, so we'll skate 4-on-4 for a while. Well, what makes you laugh makes you cry. The Bison maybe got a favorable call when Davidson was tripped up, and then Davidson, the one now called for a penalty. Four on four. Here in the third period, puck nearly knocked away in the high slot. And another call coming here. A hook coming against Renda. Actually, it's a Ruzioni heading to the box, so we're going to skate 4-on-3. Try and keep track of this. 4-on-3, so now another power play for the Bison. Lippa sends it back out to center. J.B. Baker over the line, left side. Nearly knifed away by Dylan. Touched into the corner. Lippa there first for Salve. Tries to swing it hard around the board. Sprinting over is Perron to get it. Perron straight away up top. Leaves it for Baker. Down low Virgili. Back to Baker. Perron in the high slot. Across. Miscommunication there with Virgili. Baker recovers it along the far wall. Sends it right side. Johanna touching on the goal was Crivello, and Ream denies. Perron dancing in close with a shot. That one goes high. Ricochets off the end glass. On the board's left side, Perron settles it down. Baker straight away. Back to Perron in the slot with a wrist shot. That one's blocked. Saved by Rem, and it deflects up and out of play. Ream, excuse me. Four-on-3 power play here for the Bison. You don't often see this. Peter Miko up top to Frazier. Fakes the drive. Left side, Carlson. Now risks it. That goes high. Miko in the corner, right side. Turning at the circle, right side. Across to Carlson. Frazier back to Carlson in the high slot. Surveys. Hands off to Miko. Skates straight away with a shot. Save made by Ream. And the rebound swatted out of the zone by the Seahawks. Seahawks calling for offside. It doesn't come. Frazier with a drive. That one's blocked. 4-on-4 now. Wraparound chance knocked away. Deflected out of the zone. This will be icing. And then it's waved off on the other side. Waiting for Davidson to come out. Now it's a 9-second power play here for the Bison. Crivello left side with a shot. That one deflects wide. Ruzioni out of the box. Back to even strength. Nias touches it in deep. Seahawks pick it off. Want to hit the home run pass. Here comes Frankie Sullivan. Tried to play it across for Sennett. He recovers in the corner. Zips it back out in front. And Epp snags it with the glove. .12:35 to go in the third. Game still tied at 3. Bison win the draw. They wrap it all the way around the boards. This could be icing, and it is, as Herco wins the race. 12:27 to go in regulation. Carangelo moves it up top to the point. Holt with a drive save made by Epp. Deflects in behind the net. Left wing side. Bison send it out of the zone, but taken back by the Seahawks. Sent into the zone. Udall battling in the corner. Bison angle it out. Herka. Udall up the right side, snaps it on the goal. That one kicked in behind the net. Flick back out in front on the rebound. Right side, shot from Walensky. Save made by Epp. Puck in behind the cage. Carangelo looking to dig it out. It's scaled out of the zone. Who'd this go off of? That'll determine where the draw is. .11:30 to go in the third. Game tied at 3. Tied at 2 over in Middletown at St. George's. The women's team battling with Becker to overtime. In that Colonial Hockey Conference first round matchup. Philbrick, his wrist shot, in on the goal! Rebound, give it up! Poke towards the cage! Penalty coming here. Which way is this going? Is it against Frazier for pushing Aruzioni into the goal, or is Aruzioni going to go for hitting the goalie? Interference is the call. It's going against the Bison. Hunter Frazier to the box. Salve now with a full power play here in the third to try and take the lead. Attacking zone draw for Salve. They win it. Aruzioni at the point left side to Carabia. Back to Aruzioni up top. Snaps it right side. Carangelo with a drive. Save made by Epp. Rebound out to the left side. Up top to Carabia. Seahawks keep it alive. Carangelo with space. Walks it into the corner. Carries out wide. Snaps it in behind the net. Walensky lets it go by. Udall spins it on the backhand. Up top to Aruzioni. Carabia quickly back out in front. That one's blocked. Racing in is Sullivan. He kept it alive for a minute. Davidson couldn't clear. Sullivan touches it back into the corner. Players battling in the right wing circle, and finally the Bison able to clear it. Last time these two teams met in the postseason, it was Frankie Sullivan who broke a 3-3 tie and a 4-3 win for the Seahawks in the quarterfinals of the NCAA tournament. Aruzioni circling out high, hands off to Carabia. He throws it towards the goal, looking for a tip. Loose in the slot, knocked out wide. Carabia on the backhand. Aruzioni settles it down. Quickly back across to Carabia. Wide on the right side. His drive is blocked. McLean just throws his weight into the corner, trying to slow this up, and the Seahawks able to dig it out again. Carabia to Aruzioni, right wing circle, out high. Renda waiting, sweeps it on the goal, and it goes wide. Seahawks trying to set it out in front, trying to jam it home. Pass, Epp. Again, the Seahawks say it's in, but the linesman, the goal judge back there, waves it off. .38 seconds to go on the power play here for Salve. 9:55 to go in the third. Eric Lippa on the draw with Hogan Davidson. Dillon trying to glove it down at the blue line. It'll deflect off his glove and into the Bison bench. So we will draw at neutral ice. Bison clear the zone. 30 seconds to go on the power play. Tony Ream. Up ahead now, Renda. Quickly over the line, right side. Thought about the shot, instead carries in behind the cage, moves it around the board. Sennett racing in left side, gets upended. Renda keeps it alive, dancing left wing side. Renda sends it up top to Sennett. Across to Dillon. Final seconds of the power play. Dillon with a drive tipped wide by McLean. Sennett in the corner left side, wanted to move it back in deep, battling along the boards. He keeps it alive, but the Bison come away with it. Davidson sprints away from John McLean. Lippa picks his pocket, though. Seahawks able to stay onside. Lippa to Sennett in the slot with a shot, and that one just whistled wide of the glove of Epp. Back come the Bison, though, here on the counter. Cravello over the line, trying to angle his way towards the goal. Puck rolls in on the cage, and Ream finds it with the glove. .8:53 to go in regulation. Seahawks chip it off the glass. It goes down. Walensky sprinting into the zone, gets there first. Gets tripped up in the corner. Sweeney almost had it. Baker comes away with it. His pass deflected. It goes off of Walensky's skate. Now Baker again tipped into the zone by Layton. Giving away Walensky in the slot with a shot, and it goes wide. Rebound punch towards the cage. Picked off by Baker before Layton could let it fly. Here comes Perron left side. He snaps it on the cage. Rebound given up. Ream tries to grab it. Interference call coming here. This looks like it's against the Seahawks. Cravello trying to go to the net. Philbrick and him were locked up. Spencer Stanley actually the one going to the box. So power play here for Nichols with 8:17 to go. So many moments in this game where you feel the game is going to break and turn in one favor or the other. Every time that's happened, the other team has risen to the occasion. Face-off won by the Bison, but back out to center. Bison led 1-0 in this game and 3-2. Seahawks briefly led 2-1. Bison scored very quickly to start the second period to knot things up. George Sennett on the power play in this period has tied the game. Excuse me, in the end of the second period, tied the game. Tied 3-3. Frazier at the point, left side. Carlson, top of the circle, left side, moves it to Miko right side. His shot blocked by Ruzioni. Can't clear the zone though, and the Bison, a point pass from the corner. Miko off the mark. Minute gone here on the minor to Spencer Stanley. JB Baker, near side to Perron, walks it over the line, tips it into the slot. Renda swings it away from him, and then Sennett can't clear the zone. Baker, with some daylight out high, moves it left side to Virgili. Baker again, straight away at the point, watched by Sennett. Left side, Virgili fakes the shot, wrists it on the goal, and Ream makes the save. Rebound kicks into the corner, kept alive by Perron. Out high to JB Baker. Changes places with Perron. Skates it wide right side now. Snaps it in front, looking for the tip, and Davidson scores! Davidson able to jam it 5-hole on the power play. 6:42 to go, and the Bison retake the lead. Can see the power play here. Baker sends it out in front. Davidson able to jam it in. We are a long way from finish, though. 6:42 left in the third. Spencer Stanley out of the box now, still voicing his displeasure with that call. Nias off the face-off win. Puck played in behind the net. Ream swings it around the boards. Mangone trying to sweep it out in front. That's blocked. Picked off by Spencer Stanley. Sends it into the middle to Udall. Can't control it over the blue line. Seahawks are offside. Scaled into the zone by Carabia. McLean was the one who was over the line that time. We will draw at center ice with 6:23 to go. Overtime underway over at St. George's between Becker and Salve Regina in the Colonial Hockey Conference first round game. Could this game be headed to overtime as well? The Seahawks will need a goal now here, falling behind 4-3. Walensky around for Carabia. Near side boards, he floats it out of the zone. Aruzioni tips it ahead. Marino reaching behind, can't grab it. Pass behind Carlson. Mikko flicks it on the backhand into the zone. Spencer Stanley surveys the field. Moves it near side to Vincent Marino. Marino down the middle. Lost the puck. Sent back out to center. Renda tries to walk it up the far side boards. Runs right into the official. 5:36 to go. Seahawks give it away. Crivello now in on Dillon. Lost it. Poked away by Dillon. Renda chips it across to Marino. Walensky can't hold it in at the blue line. Tried to spin. Dillon angled to the near side. Marino looks to tip it ahead. This one hits off a Seahawks stick on the bench. That stops the clock with 5:06 to play. Puck on the left wing side. Davidson, who just gave the Bison the lead, floats it out to center. Nick Holt sends it across. Udall can't control it. Entered back into the Seahawks zone. Herka, time and space, now blitzed by Davidson. Nick Holt sends it into the middle. Udall just spins it forward, giving it right back to the Bison. Davidson floats it into the zone. The Bison will take this, dump and chase, making the Seahawks really have to work to get the puck in the zone. Holt now sees two men, zips it ahead. Udall across to Carangelo, trying to carry it forward. He lost it. Back come the Bison the other way. Foster, quick down the middle, lost it. Sent it now, back the other way. Holt carries over the line right side, pulls up, throws it on the net. Easy save there for Epp. Frankie Sullivan trying to carry towards the front of the goal. Lost it in deep. 4 minutes to play in the third. Spencer Stanley looks around, tries to cut back to the outside. Carabia. Now Lippa. Chips it off the glass, sends it down the ice. This could be icing, and it is, with 3:41 to go in the third. Final up in Milton. The Wentworth Leopards defeat Curry. That is a huge upset. Curry outshoots the Leopards 55-24, but they can't get the win. So that means the winner of this game would be headed to Endicott. Gulls and Nor'easters tied for the first seed. Endicott lost the tiebreaker. So Curry loses. Fantastic season for them comes to a close. Nichols also trying to pull off the upset here. And they are 3 minutes and 25 seconds away from doing so. Attacking zone draw here for Salve. Marino to take it against Justin Perron. Seahawks win the draw. Dylan right side. Sends it around the boards. In behind the net. Marino at the blue line, trying to send it towards the cage. It's blocked. Left side. Walensky with a drive that goes wide. Buck bouncing back down the ice. Renda tied up with Baker. Lost the puck. Walensky trying to carry through the slot. Delayed penalty coming. Crivello touches it. Fires it around the boards. Mitch Walensky, who has been all over the place tonight. Don't know if he has a point. I'll have to pull up the stats. He does not have a point here tonight, but he has created so much for the Seahawks here in this game. And just his skating and his speed there causing the trip. Baker reaching out. They also put in Crivello. I wonder if he smoked that puck around the boards out of frustration. Will this be 5-on-3? What a call. The officials are talking with the scorer's box. The penalty's on Baker. Crivello had some words, and that earns him 2 minutes as well. The Seahawks will be 5-on-3 with 2:55 to go. My goodness. I'm sure the discussion here the Seahawks are having on the bench, do you pull Ream to go 6-on-3? The problem is the Bison on the power penalty kill could just send the puck down the ice to an empty net. That's something maybe we'd see later on towards the closing minutes of this 5-on-3, closing seconds. Zach Klon's thinking about it. He's talking to assistant coach Chris Davis and Jeff Bubanow. I wonder if we're going to get a timeout here or not. Officials still talking to Parker Burgess. And the Seahawks will call for time. We'll keep it here to reset things. 2:55 to go in the third here of this Commonwealth Coast Conference quarterfinal matchup. Nichols struck first. Peter Miko 3:23 into the first. Then Marino and Eric Lippa gave the Seahawks the lead. Nate Foster, 41 seconds into the second, tied things up. J.B. Baker gave the Bison the lead. And then George Sennett, middle of the second, tied things up 3-3. And then it's Hogan Davidson here in the third period who gave the Bison a 4-3 lead. But the Seahawks now with a 5-on-3 penalty. A trip against J.B. Baker, and then Crivello, out of frustration, maybe said something and then smoked the puck just around the boards. And that earned him a trip to the box as well. The Seahawks talking over the strategy here. Huddled up in front of the bench. Head coach Zach Klon, along with assistants Chris Davis and Jeff Bubanow, talking the strategy, and they will pull Ream. The Seahawks, just rolling the dice here, are going to go 6-on-3. It's a calculated risk. You go 6-on-3. The Bison can feed this into an empty net if they get the puck. Seahawks just have to be solid here. Net empty. Season on the line here for Salve. Tie up on the draw. The Bison trying to quickly send it down the ice. The Seahawks win it. That's a big step. Dylan. Right side to Renda. Sent it. Dylan with a drive. Save made. Rebound. Punch wide to the paint. That one went right behind Epp. Dylan recovers. Out high. Sent it. Net empty here for Salve. 6-on-3. Dylan back to Walensky. Left wing circle. Dylan again out high. Walks it in. Back to Walensky with a shot, and that one blocked up and out of play. David Shavria. And after each of these, you have to look and see if the Seahawks will put Ream back out there. Every time you have a draw, you run the risk that the Bison could win it, and they have no fear of icing it. They can just rip it down the ice at the open net and all but end the game. Seahawks win the draw. Matt Dillon at the point left side. Snaps it all the way across. Vincenzo Renda. Sent it to Walensky. Curling at the left circle. Dillon out high. Renda snaps it on the goal. Save made. Puck hops straight up in the air. Walensky settles it down. Back across to Renda. Waiting, snaps it wide to the net. Walensky sprinting around. Dillon there as well to get to it. Quickly back for Renda. Space for him. Left side. That one. Good hustle there by Davidson. Trying to send it out of the zone. And he does. 1:50 to go. 54 seconds of 6-on-3 power play here for Salve with the net empty. This one in front. Seven tips it wide. Dillon. Straight away. Right side Renda. Back to Walensky with a drive, and it's saved by Epp. Rebound. Loose out in front. Renda collects it right side. Renda spins it up top. Dillon fakes the one-timer. Renda trying to paddle it across. Blocked in deep. Punched across the slot into the left wing corner. Recovered by Walensky. Make this Marino. Dillon. Right side Renda. 22 seconds to go. Wrists it wide of the net. 18 seconds on the power play now. Dillon. Right side Renda. Waiting. Lost the puck. McLean dancing in the corner. Renda has to get to it. Skips it back behind the cage. This is going to be 6-on-5 quickly. Walensky with a shot, and he scores! Mitch Walensky on the power play, and we're tied with 59 seconds to go! Mitch Walensky, who has been all over the place here tonight, ties the game. The Seahawks took the risk, and it paid off. They pulled Tony Ream on the power play to make it 6-on-3. You run the risk that the Bison can just easily send it down the ice. Backs against the wall. Season on the brink. And it's Mitch Walensky, who transferred here for moments like this, who right now has the biggest goal of the season for Salve. Carabia wrists it around the boards. 50 seconds to go in regulation.
53, George Senate, number 22, John McLean.
Carlson across to Foster. Bison offside. Foster lost it down the middle. Bank back up the ice. No icing here. Nias grabs it with 26 seconds to go in regulation. Neither of these teams willing to give. Spencer Stanley trying to spin it off the boards, up the far side. Lippa with 15. Aruzioni across to Spencer Stanley. Stanley over the line left side with 9 seconds. Snaps it on the goal, and that one fought off by Epp. 6.4 to go. Seahawks will draw in the attacking end. Marino on the draw. Time here for a face-off win and a shot if you're Salve. Vincent Marino to take it against Hogan Davidson. And timeout called here by Parker Burgess. We will take it as well. 6.4 to go in the third. Game tied at 4. Welcome back to the Abbey. 6.4 to go here in regulation. The Seahawks with an attacking zone draw. They've tied the game with the goalie pulled on a 6-on-3 power play. Mitch Walensky right now. The biggest goal of the Seahawks season. False start here. Let's see who gets tossed. They might toss both guys. Or are they just going to have them redraw? Nope. Marino gets tossed. And 4/10 came off the clock there, so we'll have to put that back on the board. This is exactly the type of game we hoped and dreamed we'd get between these two. They have had so many epic fights in the postseason. Salve Regina and Nichols. This one living up to the hype. Thank you for finding us here on the Salve Athletics Network. We've enjoyed this one here. Still a lot of hockey left to play. Unless the Seahawks have a miracle in them here with 6 seconds. We are headed for overtime here in the postseason. Andrew Pizzelli here bringing you the call. Was joined earlier on the broadcast by Commissioner Greg Kay. He's in the crowd now, enjoying this one with the rest of us. Packed house here tonight at the Abbey. Playoff atmosphere. Marino and Davidson on the draw. Seahawks win it. Walensky with a shot. The save by App. 3.6 to go. Again, a time for a shot here if you're Salve. Marino and Davidson once again. If the Seahawks can win this cleanly, they'll have a chance to win this in regulation. Puck one to the boards, and Chavria, veteran move from the senior, just pins it. Overtime here at the Abbey. Mitch Walensky ties the game at 4, and we have extra hockey here at the Portsmouth Abbey. We will take a break. They have to tend to the ice. They'll put 20 minutes up on the board. Sudden death overtime. The next goal wins this game. You can't ask for much more in the postseason. We'll step aside while both teams head to the locker room and be back with the call of OT. Commonwealth Coast Conference Men's Hockey Playoffs. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Portsmouth Abbey. Salve Regina and Nichols College tied at 4. Overtime here in the CCC tournament. We will play until someone scores a goal. This exactly the type of game we thought we were going to get. We didn't know the journey. We didn't know how we would get here, but overtime seems fitting for these two heated rivals. They've met many times in the postseason, in conference tournament games, in the championship game, in the NCAA tournament. Battling here today to go face Endicott on Saturday. Mitch Walensky right now, the hero who put the Seahawks here in overtime. Andrew Pizzelli here bringing you the call. Thank you for joining us. This one exciting. Double overtime coming out over at St. George's between the women's team and Becker. Some excellent hockey action here today for Salve Regina. Puck entered into the zone. Carried out now by Curtis Carlson. Snaps it up the far side. Zach lost it, swung back out. Eruzione scoops it out to center, no further. Carlson looks to enter it. Dillon picks it off. Wanted to get it to Eruzione. Dillon does so. Nifty pass, cross ice. Here comes Tim Sweeney. Over the line right side, snaps it on the goal off the glove of Epp. And it ricochets in behind the net. Up the near side boards, Carabia waiting for it. Tried to paddle it in deep. That was broken up. Carlson stood up by Eruzione. Carabia back the other way for Salve. Dylan Carabia ducks the shoulder with a backhand shot. That one went right across the blue paint. Walensky on the right-hand side. He tied the game, dances down into the corner. Puck on the left wing side. Sennett throws it towards the cage. That goes wide. Carabia from the blue line paddles it in deep. Lippa lets it go by. Sennett touches it up the sideboards. Left side, Stanley can't get it deep into the corner. Chance for the Bison here to clear. Backhand from Frazier. Up the ice, Perron waiting at the blue line. Now carries it in. Perron straight away turns, fires it wide of the net. Spencer Stanley picks it off behind the cage. Quickly up for George Sennett, who can't handle it. Given right back to David Shavria. Near side, Evan Nias, and that deflects out of play. Both of these teams, kind of a crazy route for them both to get here. The Seahawks started out very strongly this season, and then injuries set in. They went from being in the top 7, top 6 nationally ranked, falling out of the national poll, not out of the national spotlight, having to battle every single weekend, absorbing some tough losses while they tried to get healthy. The Bison started the year 0-10, wanted a big streak to get here as well. Battling it out here in the postseason. Cross ice, that one's picked off by Carangelo, and this is going to be icing, but the Seahawks will take that. Baker was open on the weak side. 18-12 to go in OT. Neither of these teams willing to give in. It's been a game of runs. Carangelo on the draw. Justin Perron in on it for the Bison. Udall nearly had it. Baker out high across the ice. Perron with a drive. That one off the end boards. Dillon pokes it into the corner. Baker trying to keep it in for the Bison. Frazier almost able to dance free in the slot. Backhands it towards the net. Ream lets it go by and then paddles it up the boards. Perron trying to get around McLean. Left wing side with a shot. That one wide of the glove. And it kicks all the way back out and down to the Bison end. Udall knifes it away. Carries out high. Udall throws it towards the net. Blocked towards the cage by Sullivan, and it's wide. Carangelo, right side, saucers it across, waiting for a shot, and the save made by Epp. Rebound was dropped for a minute, and then pounced on by Epp. That was Herka who was free for the shot. 17:24 to go in OT. And usually the way these overtimes go is you just get waves of chances, and then the tiredness sets in. Seahawks coming out strong here to start this overtime period. Attacking zone draw, left wing side. One back to Eruzione. Looking to throw it towards the cage, blocked by Hogan Davidson. Shavria in the corner, far side, looking to clear it. Mangone can't control, tipped back to center, Frankie Sullivan. Flicks it end over end, bouncing in behind the net. Brett Epp watches it go by. Mangone on the far boards, angled off the play. Herka able to scoop it forward, tipped into the zone by the Seahawks. Shavria back there for Nichols. Can't get it past Mitch Walensky. He has been all over the place here tonight. Cross ice picked off by Herka, and he'll power it into the zone. Lippa near side, scoops it on the backhand. Walensky throws his shoulder into the corner. Lippa with a shot. That one blocked out high. Holt races to get it, looks to send it towards the cage. Bounces wide into the corner for Sennett. Buck into the right wing corner. Cross ice pass, taken by Holt off the boards, given back to Hogan Davidson. He'll look to walk it over the line, pass into the slot, paddled back out to center. Frank Zach near side, he'll snap it down the boards left side, it skips in behind the net. Sennett chips it out to center. Bison will reset, Frazier now. From his blue line up to Curtis Carlson, trying to carry down the middle, backhand shot, save made by Ream. Tony Ream with the save. His 27th of the night, matching Brett Epp. .16:01 to go in OT. Attacking zone draw here for the Bison. Spencer Stanley grabs it in the corner and it's poked back. Frazier races, makes this Foster races for it. On the backhand, it hits the official. Carabia now for Salve, scooped ahead to Udall, has McLean ahead of the field, and it's just out of his reach. McLean in behind the net, trying to center that one, and it's deflected back to Curtis Carlson, looking to send it all the way up the ice on the home run pass for Mikko. Carabia angles him to the boards. John McLean crashing in as well. Carangelo shielding the puck, scoops it off the boards. Udall out through center, left for Carangelo, over the line right side with a wrist shot. That one's blocked and wide. Carangelo trying to get it back in the corner, pulled down in the right wing corner. No call coming here. JB Baker left for Vincent Crivello, backhand shot, saved by Rem. 15:07 to go in OT. Tony Ream making so many big saves here down the stretch. Made a bunch in the third period. There's been about 18 different points in this game where you write a play down and think, that's it. That's the turning point. This is where one team or the other takes advantage and pulls away. Neither team has given an inch. Shot blocked. Glove down the high slot. Crivello's drive blocked, dribbling towards the cage. Seahawks knife it away. 2-on-2 break here for Aruzioni. Over the line left side. Softly chips it into the corner for Tim Sweeney. Sweeney back to Aruzioni. Left wing circle with a shot. That one saved. Blocked out in front. Sweeney punches it towards the goal. Walensky can't get to it in front, and the Bison get the clear. This should be icing, and it is with 14:40 to go in OT. First overtime here. Double overtime coming over at St. George's between Salve Regina and Becker on the women's hockey side. Timeout. Parker Burgess will take it as well. 14:40 to go in OT. Seahawks with an attacking zone draw coming up here. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Abbey. Andrew Pizzelli here, bringing you the call. Already an instant classic. Salve Regina and Nichols writing another epic story in their rivalry. Overtime here in the postseason. Next goal wins. Here comes Crivello, angles it over the line, right side with a shot. That one skipped wide. Virgili left side, he paddles it around. Crivello behind the net, angled to the boards by Renda. Hogan Davidson in the corner right side, chased by Matt Dillon, trying to get away from him. Sends it out in front, it hops in front of the cage, and then is taken by Renda. In stride for George Sennett down the middle with a wrist shot, blocked and dribbling wide, trying to cut in on Davidson, penalty coming. Sennett trying to chase after the puck. Hogan Davidson spills into the boards. Power play for the Bison. And a chance to advance and face Endicott. The Leopards, Wentworth already upset Curry. Wentworth will go and face top-seeded University of New England. The winner of this game now will head to Beverly on Saturday. Bison win the draw. Virgili, left wing circle, paddles it down low. Davidson can't settle it down. Out into the corner now, right wing side. Up top to Baker. Right side, Perron. Waiting, snaps it on the goal, saved by Ream. 18 seconds gone on the power play for the Bison. Attacking zone draw on the power play. Virgili wins it back to Perron, wide right side, up top to Baker. Baker, left side Virgili, free in the circle, paddles it down low, back out in front, backhand shot, save made by Ream. Puck still loose, players jamming for it, and we get a whistle. .131 to go on the power play for Nichols. Fifth time these teams have met in the last 6 seasons. And this one, another classic of a playoff game. Crivello on the draw. Vincent Marino will take it for Salve. And he wins it. That's a big win. Holt trying to fire it around the boards, can't clear it. Aruzioni battling out there, trying to rake it free. In behind the net, Crivello. Pinned to the boards. Puck knocked free. Seahawks can't clear it. Virgili with space. Left side. Deking. Right side one-timer. Save made by Ream. .112 to go on the power play. Hogan Davidson will take the draw against Marino. Right wing circle. Marino digs in. Won by the Bison. Out to Perron at the blue line. Straight away up top to Baker. Left side, Virgili waiting. Shooting and Ream the save! .102 to go on the power play. Tony Ream making some huge stops. Crivello and Marino now on the draw. Both teams leaving the same special teams units out there. Seahawks win the draw. Holt again trying to smash it around the boards. Can't clear the blue line on the far side. Virgili keeps it in. Up top to the point. Baker. Back to Virgili. Space left side. Wrist shot. Save made by Ream. Flashing the glove. 46 seconds to go on the power play for the Bison, and now the Seahawks will change up the penalty killing unit. Udall, Lipa, Carabia, and Stanley come on for Salve. Tie up on the draw. Puck loose against the boards. Lipa trying to dig it out for Salve. It flips high in the air. Somehow doesn't hit the roof. Udall knocks down Virgili. Stanley trying to rake it out of the corner. Crivello angles it up to the point, but no one home. So Baker will track back into his own zone with 24 seconds to go on the power play. One last rush here for the Bison. Perron up to Virgili, over the line left side. Hands off to Perron in the circle. Now dancing down low. Perron trying to circle out onto the wing right side. 10 seconds to go. Up top to Frazier. Virgili in the high slot with a shot. Save made by Ream. Rebound hops out wide. Crivello drops it down low, and we're back to even strength. Racing out of the backs is Sennett. Frazier plays it into the corner. Walensky now on for Sennett. Stanley will settle things down for Salve. Spencer Stanley weaving his way through center, trying to carry ahead. Puck knifed away. Here comes Peter Mikko over the line right side. Mikko ducks the shoulder. Wrist shot high and wide. Foster trying to bank it in. That's knocked away. Stanley cuts in on Foster. Make this Carlson. Scoops it back past Zach. And this will be icing here against Salve Regina. .11:34 to go in OT. Double overtime over at St. George's between Salve Regina and Becker. And we're going to get a timeout called here by Salve Regina. We will take it as well. 11:34 to go in OT. Commonwealth Coast Conference playoff action. The next goal wins this game and advances to face Endicott College. We'll take a break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Abbey. 11:34 to go in overtime. Bison with the attacking zone draw. Tie up along the far side boards. Puck in the high slot. Mango with a drive, and he scores! Nick Mangone just turned and fired from the blue line. That puck had eyes. A stunning turn of events. Mangone, no hesitation, just ripped it on the cage. The Bison come into Portsmouth, and like they did 2 years ago as the 5 seed, stun the Seahawks here today and punch their ticket to the semifinals and a date with Endicott College. What a battle here today. Someone had to lose. Someone's season was going to come to a close. Neither team wanted to give an inch. In the end, it's the senior from Massapequa Park, Nick Mangone, who keeps the Bison season alive and sends the Seahawks to the off season. 11:29 to go in overtime. Mangone gets the game-winning goal. The Bison, who have been on a tear here in the second half, improved to 12-12-2. The Seahawks, they fall to 14-11-1, and their season disappointingly comes to a close here in the quarterfinals. It was an up and down year for this Seahawks squad. They started out hot, and then things just got tough here in the second half. So a lot of injuries, trying to find their way through that. Able to earn a home playoff game here today. The Seahawks salute their faithful. It was a packed house here today. They'll head to the locker room disappointed, but an epic battle here today between these two teams. And as expected, still some chippiness afterwards. A lot of good blood, but a lot of bad blood between these two teams in the battles they've had in the postseason. Wentworth on the road upset Curry today. Nichols upset Salve. So that means the Leopards travel up to UNE. Nichols stays alive, and they will be up at Beverly, Massachusetts on Saturday versus the Gulls. I want to give a shout out here at the end for both Eric Lippa and Nick Holt, the Seahawks, two seniors. They had senior day here. They got a victory on Sunday and got to read during that game about what they meant. The words that this team used to describe its seniors were quality over quantity. Two of the most high character guys you'll ever meet, Holt and Lippa. Their seasons disappointingly come to a close here today, but the mark that they left on this program will live on for quite a while, part of some of the best teams in program history. But this season, a tough season, a battle more so than the last couple of years, ends here in overtime, an epic game, but credit the Bison, who once again on this crazy run have come back, and they are storming in through the postseason, and they will have a lot of momentum going into the semifinals. I'd like to thank our entire staff and production crew, CJ Minchin, our camera person here today, Grace Murphy, and Logan Marsh helping to provide live statistics. Thanks again to Greg Kay, who came on and joined us here in the broadcast for a little bit, and especially like to thank you all for joining and listening with us here this afternoon. A bit of happy news just passed along to me. Salve Regina's women's ice hockey team won in double overtime over Becker, so they will be up in Beverly to face the top-seeded Endicott Gulls on Saturday on the women's side. Unfortunately, they will not be joined by the men's team there as well. Once again, your final here today, Nichols 5, Salve Regina 4. Nick Mangone is the hero in OT for Nichols. I am Andrew Pizzelli. Hope you enjoyed this one, folks. It was a classic. Have a good night.